Hello, everybody, and welcome to Learning at Scale 2020. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to our online conference. This is made possible thanks to ACM, and we're here with my co-program chair, Susan Singer. Hi, Susan. And our general chair, David Joyner, will join us in just a minute as well. This is a really exciting time for learning at scale, and that bears out in the numbers of participation, because this year is our biggest and most global learning at scale yet. We have 280 participants signed up as of now. We're sure we're going to hit the 300 by the end of the week, and 35% of participants are joining us from outside of the US. And you can see here the distribution of countries from around the world where participants are joining us from. We also have a good gender ratio and decent representation from underrepresented minorities at the conference. Still room to grow, of course. Now, the timing of this conference couldn't really be better. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a very large impact on education as well. We've seen millions of students worldwide now learning online. We also see thousands of teachers now trying teaching online, maybe for the first time, and many wondering how to do it well. And this is not just happening in K-12, it is also happening in higher education, professional development, and retraining. So a lot of areas that learning at scale has historically focused on. Now, this learning may not only happen in formal educational environments, but also in informal ways, more and more. And that's what our keynote speaker will be addressing today. And Susan will introduce Dr. Katie Davis more fully at the end before her keynote, but she's going to talk about what My Little Pony can teach us about interest-driven learning, which is based on her recent book. So more on Katie in just a few minutes. Now, another presentation that we have for you will be at the end of the conference, right before the closing ceremony. We fireside chat on ethics in learning at scale, moderated by Candace Till, and with three fantastic panelists, Stephanie Teasley, Sydney DeMello, and Alan Wegner, who have varied perspectives on how ethic bears out in learning at scale and have thought about these questions very hard. So I'm looking very much forward to their panel. With that, I hand it over to Susan to tell you more about the rest of the program, and I'll see you in a little bit.
And I know both getting started with the keynote and I'm very excited about the keynote panel at the end, but there's some great stuff in between. So this is a quick overview about what to expect through Friday. So if you can, Thursday or Friday, Eastern time between 11 and 12, we're going to have chat and snack hours where you can get together with others in the field and have conversation. And all of this is accessible through the Intellum platform. We organized the conference around 4 categories of submissions: workshops, some of you participated in those already today, research and synthesis papers, works in progress and demonstrations, and then specifically this year, COVID-19 case studies. So if we can move on, Rene. I'm not going to go through all the workshops, but I did want to let you know that through the Intellum platform, you can take a look and see if on Thursday or Friday there's one that you are interested in and you can still enroll. Great opportunity to really get some in-depth learning experience in new areas. Next. One of the things Rene and I tried this year that we think has worked out fairly well was to identify 5 areas of emphasis that we thought marked areas where the field is moving, where new work is emerging, where work is needed. And we're great. If you are participating in the conference, it would help all of us, I think, if you could mute. I'm not sure if someone's asking a question or if there's background noise. And if you have questions or comments, we're going to rely heavily throughout the we're going to rely heavily throughout the conference on the chat function. So if you have comments, suggestions, please put your comments there. When we get to the paper sections, we're going to go from one paper to another, but we're going to ask the co-authors and as well as all of us that are participating to really engage in conversation through the chat. So unlike it used to be bad to pass notes in class, we are encouraging passing notes. So back to areas of emphasis: causal inference at scale, learning and curricular analytics, qualitative studies, systems and tools for learning, and then synthesis papers were all areas we're interested in. And we're grateful to the members of our community who championed this and encouraged people to submit papers. And I think you can see we were very, very pleased with the response and the quality of the papers. So those will be scattered throughout the conference. Take advantage. Next slide. Rene, could you advance the slides? Thanks. So work in progress and demonstrations, including work in progress from industry researchers, are a great way to get exposure to just cutting edge work. And we are using the Gatherly function so that you can virtually walk on up to a researcher and a group of folks that are having a conversation and join in just like you would if you were moving around in a face-to-face poster session. Our guidance to you is that you use Gatherly in Chrome, not a different browser. It works best in Chrome. That you go and you check it out before. There's a tutorial, very, very helpful and worth just a couple of minutes going through Chrome. And also, because these sessions are going to go by in a blink of an eye, please check out the submissions in advance so you can use that time to talk to the folks you most want to connect with. Next. I'm really excited about the COVID case studies for a number of reasons. We've had a terrific response from literally around the globe, from Hong Kong to Venezuela, and a broad range of different institutional types with different challenges and a broad range of methodologies. And at least to Rene's and my knowledge, we don't know of any place else where this global conversation about how the rapid shift to virtual learning impacted learners across the globe is occurring. So it's happening here. Be part of that conversation. Next slide. Rene, could you, okay. We want to extend our thanks to our supporters. Intellum has been most generous. The platform you're using is courtesy of their generosity. Oracle, Google, Class Central, IBL have all been phenomenal. So if you get a chance to thank them, please do so. And now let's move towards our keynote speaker.